Want to make six figures as an instructional design freelancer? Well, you need to up your client experience game. Not sure where to start? Well, you're in luck. I'm here to give you the tips and tricks to wow your clients and get them to become a referral machine for you. If you want to make more money as a freelancer in learning and development, then you need to start acting like it. Aside from the work itself, you need to deliver an amazing experience. I hear time and time again, people in instructional design and in learning and development who are off on their own, contracting and freelancing say, I want to earn more money, I want to earn more money, but I don't know how. And then often I work with freelancers and contractors and I'm just not wowed by the experience that they give me as a client. And this is where I think you could really make the difference and make the case for why some freelancers can charge a lot more money and why others just are never gonna get up to that super high level. Let me give you a little comparison here. So let's take cars, for example. Two cars that I've owned in my life, a Hyundai and a Lexus. Both get you from point A to point B. But why is it that people prefer, and I prefer, to pay the extra money, a lot extra money, for the Lexus versus the Hyundai? Well, for me, it's the entire experience, right? It's not just a matter of getting me from point A to point B, it's the craftsmanship of the car, right? It's knowing that everything is top of the line. It's the top of the line in the electronics, right? It's a super safe car. It's super reliable. It's beautiful. But here's the other thing. The experience I have whenever I go to my Lexus dealer is truly like unlike any other dealer I've ever experienced. And again, note, I have bought a Hyundai and a Lexus before, right? So I have experience in both. This is a generalization, but go with me here. When I go to my Lexus dealer, I know I am in for top-notch service, right? I'm greeted immediately at the door. I'm asked if I want coffee, if I need water. My dealer knows me by name. He comes over immediately and just rolls out the red carpet, listens to everything that I want. Even when I ask for things that are completely going to be outside of what my budget is, he listens. And then he brings me down to earth in a really nice and gentle way. Now, my experience buying from, his name is Barry from Lexus, has been such an amazing experience. I have been buying cars from him since I was pregnant with Gigi, so about like 2015, okay? It's 2022, and I bought 3 cars from this one man, my guy Barry. I even have had such a good experience from the entire process, not just like when I get there, from the entire process of buying a car and him walking me through all the bells and whistles. And let me tell you, I bought the exact same car 3 different times. It has not changed all that much, right? There are some new things, but like he doesn't need to sit there and walk me through the car every single time I go and I lease one, but he does. And it's just such an amazing experience. He calls me, he will randomly call me, my husband, throughout just to see how we're doing. And it is so amazing that I refer people to him all the time. Anytime someone says they're looking for a new car, they like my car, I'm the first one to say, you need to go see Barry at the Bridgewater Lexus. It is such an amazing experience that I live an hour away now from that dealer, and I would rather take the hour trip in like a year and a half when my lease is up and go and buy another Lexus or lease another Lexus from him than go 20 minutes down the road to the other Lexus dealer, because I'd rather give him the money. Why wouldn't we think about creating that same experience for our customers? We're a service-based business. If our clients feel the exact same treatment, right? Like someone really rolled out the red carpet, someone really cared about us, they delivered us excellent service, the product is of excellence, but the whole experience is of excellence, they're going to want to continue to refer business to you internally through other departments. They're going to refer business to you with their colleagues when they're looking for people with their same skill set. And they're going to want to continue to come back to you over and over and over again. Every time I go back to him, I don't have to start from the beginning. He knows so much about my life already, probably more than he even cares to know. He knows so much, I don't have to start from the beginning. Clients don't want to always start from the beginning when they have a vendor that they work with, but they will if the experience is not what they've wanted. Honestly, if you are purchasing a service of someone, right? even it's the development of a storyboard module, or even if it's of like a simple piece of the entire process, they want to feel cared for. They want like the Rolls Royce of experiences, even if they don't say it. They don't want to feel like they're managing another person because it just adds more stress on their plate. There is nothing, like no better compliment that I get than from some of my clients that just say like, it just ran. I didn't need to think about it. I need to manage one more thing. You really held my hand and you just walked me through the entire experience and I just felt cared for. Those are the experiences that are gonna get you referrals. Those are the experiences that are gonna get your clients coming back for more. So can I get a thumbs up if you're all down for learning more about client experiences and how to elevate that and elevate your instructional design game? Listen, I 100% understand that learning how to do instructional design is hella important, but I am actually one to think that a lot of you all are pretty good at your job and you're letting imposter syndrome get in the way. And what will really elevate your experience and get you continuous work is working on all of the other pieces of my anchored ID framework, which is the soft skill side of things and the business skill side of things. And this is the business side of things. And at this point, I want you to honestly think to yourself, and I want you to honestly ask, if you want to charge $150 an hour or more, right? And there are people that charge way more than that. Even if you want to charge $100 an hour, right? Is your service right now worthy of $100 an hour or $150 an hour? Let's be honest with ourselves, probably not. And there are these little things that you can do to get you there. And it's really not a lot of work, truth be told. So let's begin with how you show up. And I kind of already alluded to this, but you need to really own that you are an expert in instructional design. Sorry, it's just the truth. I feel like a lot of us are dealing with a lot of imposter syndrome, and trust me, girlfriends and friends, I am one of them. I deal with imposter syndrome all the time. You do know a lot. You've done a lot of work. Don't let what you see out there cloud what is the truth. Don't let it cloud your experiences and what you've been through. You can get to where all of those people are, but you gotta do the work now. And the work now that you do, I promise you, will affect you 3 months from now. It is not immediate. It's not going to be overnight. Like, think about it like losing weight. It does not happen overnight. If you just keep going at it over time, the weight falls off, right? Over time, what you want will come to you. What you want will happen, right? It just takes that time. But own that you are an expert in instructional design. Own that you're an expert in your area. You may not be an expert at all the things, but frankly, no one's an expert at all the things, and we all have a lot to learn. There's always so much that is coming out, new research, this and that, about even just the human brain and how we work and how we function, and just our world changes by the minute, that we're never gonna be an expert at everything, and that's okay. You are an expert at adult learning principles. You are an expert at adult learning best practices. You are an expert at your process and how you get things done, so own it. That is your service, that is your product, that is what you can offer your customers. That is what you are selling. So you need to do the mindset work. You have to be able to show up, own, and discuss your process. Clients are going to ask you over and over again, or potential clients, how do you do the work that you do? How do we get from point A to point Z? And you need to be able to talk about how you get your client there. This is why specializing and niching honestly are so helpful. When you're working on like a million different types of projects, you're constantly trying to figure out your process, right? When you take on all these different things, it's really hard to figure out what your process is and how you get from A to B, let alone from A to Z. So when you can focus on 1 or 2 types of projects, you can really own that. And I swear, it does sound counterintuitive to really like niche or specialize, because you feel like you're taking this pool and making it like this, but you're actually going like really wide. You're going really deep in the types of clients that you're going to be working with. And you end up becoming that go-to person for that industry or that type of service, that the work just keeps coming. And honestly, when you specialize, you can charge more. I mean, think about it. It's why we pay more for a specialist than our general practitioner. I know that I pay a lot more to my specialist. And also, it's also why I can never get an appointment with my specialist, and it takes me months to get that appointment, but my general practitioner usually has an appointment within the next few days. So think about that. Your specialist is so highly sought after, they don't have enough time to do the work that I need them to do. Don't you want to be there too? That's where specialists come in. People want to be all the things to everyone, But it's really hard to do that if you don't become really known in a certain area or certain industry and then build yourself up, right? You look at these larger companies like eLearning Brothers or Alencom or Tier 1 and all these things, and you're like, well, they seem like they're generalists, not necessarily specialists. They've been able to really make the mark and have a reputation and build their business that they don't need to do that, right? They've been in business way longer than you. So don't look at those people. Look at people 6, 12 months, 18 months ahead of you. And you'll likely find a lot of them are specializing or really niching down their services. And here's the other thing. Once I really got down to like what it is that we do and how we do it in our process, I feel a lot less overwhelmed every time I start a project. There was a time in which I would get a bunch of content and I would sign on to do a project and be like, like so overwhelmed in the beginning. Like, where do I start? Like, I don't even know where to start from. And I know I'm not alone. So if you've also felt that same way, I want you to leave a comment down below so that we all know that this is a bigger thing than just me, right? We've all been there. We've all been overwhelmed when we started a project. And my antidote to that has been once I really solidified my process and been able to talk about it from point A to point B. So as soon as I get content now, I really just look at it and I'm like, okay, we're starting with our content outline and we're starting with, the content map after that. And after that, we're going to storyboard and this, and this. I don't get that overwhelmed freak out. I may get overwhelmed at a moment when I'm looking at like a whole bunch of different content and trying to like discern it and like learn it because some of it is new. But honestly, I don't get that same sense anymore because I know my process inside and out and I know that it works. I'm not trying to be like all things to everyone and try to change with the wind what my process is and go Agile, go Sam, go like no. I have my process and this is how we're going with it, right? Really know and understand your process and what works best for you. And actually, if I'm totally honest, whenever I'm asked to fold into someone else's process, which now luckily has been a rarity, but it still happens every once in a while, that's when I start to get that panic again, when I have to really fold myself into someone else's process. When I follow my own rules, my own path, it is a lot easier to get the work done, and honestly, the clients are a lot happier. The next part of your client experience is your project management has to be on point. From talking with other business owners in instructional design and other clients, one of the things that is like the stamp of difference for Anchor training is our process and our project management and the transparency between both, right? Like our clients really understand like where we are on projects. They know all the steps that it takes to get there. They know they can access our project plan at any point. There's a ton of communication. They never fear that we're ghosting them at any point. Like, we're doing work and they can actually see what that progress is. As someone that has, hired consultants, hired contractors, like sometimes I don't hear from people until all of a sudden it's like the day before or the day of they're supposed to deliver something and I haven't heard from them. And then I'm like, am I gonna get something? And I like seriously panic. And that is not the experience that you want your clients to have. And that doesn't make them feel good. And that's not gonna make them want to continue to work with you. So being able to communicate and sometimes over communicate really does takes everything to like the next level. We at Anchor Training do have a project management workbook that we can link down below. It's a whole toolkit that will help you and give you some timelines and templates and things like that. So I'll make sure that's linked below, but I want you to really own and understand what your project management process is. That toolkit is going to help you kickstart you, but know that you have to figure out a way to really manage the process and own that. And here's the thing, you can have the project management like process in place. You have to also be the one that owns actually project managing your project. So you have to take on that ownership of keeping your client to their deadline, managing them, right? Managing your subject matter experts, maybe managing your own team if you're bringing on people, or maybe it's managing yourself and making sure you're meeting those deadlines. Because there's nothing worse than like saying to a client, oh, actually, I just like need another day. I know that I said it was supposed to be done on Wednesday, but now it's going to be on Friday. That's not going to get you repeat business. And that's not going to make them feel like you stick to your word. And then you want to infuse your brand throughout your interactions, throughout your documentation. This is not only your brand for your business, but your personal brand, right? Everything that goes out, whether it's an email, a kickoff document, the offboarding packet, everything has the Anchor Training brand and it has our voice through it. And it just makes the whole entire experience the anchored experience. So it's very unique to us. This may seem like a little thing, but the little things truly do matter. So your PowerPoints and the internal documents that you have, things like that, brand it your own style, make it unique to you. So they really understand also that you're the one driving the process in this project. And you may even think about giving like a little gift as a thank you for, or welcome gift in the beginning, or a thank you gift at the end of the engagement. Maybe something that, is a reminder from the time that you work together, a little like inside joke, or maybe just a little treat, just something to say, thanks for working with me. It's those little things that really do matter and that make people remember you. And then here's the thing. Don't ever stop talking to them. Continue to follow up with your clients 3, 6, 9, 12 months later, just a little email check-in, just say, hey, how are you? Just wanted to check in, see how things were going, see how that project was going, get any feedback, connect with them on LinkedIn, celebrate their wins. Don't completely go away, because out of sight also sometimes can equal out of mind. And you want them, besides remembering the amazing experience, you want to still always stay top of mind. And even if you're just, including them in your monthly newsletter, include them in that monthly newsletter so they know what you're doing, they know what's going on. And maybe they'll see something else that you're working on that they're like, I actually have that same problem. Can you help me with that? And that's how you keep that business going. And with all of these pieces, you do build that client experience that commands more money. So when you couple that client experience with your strong product of excellence, there's no doubt that you are worth what it is that you're putting on that piece of paper, and there is no question, and it makes it so much easier for people to sign on the dotted line and never even negotiate with you on price. Don't we all want to get there? So do you also want to learn about how to rebrand yourself so you can make more money? Then check out this video where I talk about why I detest the word freelancer and why it's actually hurting your chances at making more money. Friends, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.